As a mother, I would tell my kid to go outside. Yeah, well then as a mother, you don't care about the dreams and goals of your kid. So this is the woman in charge. And like I said, the title says she bullied a kid for playing Tetris and the internet destroyed her. Let's see what this is all about.
Just made fun of a kid on national TV. All right, so the story goes that this news anchor for Sky News, which is like a British news source, was covering a story about a kid who was just playing some Tetris. Turns
Oh, was it the kid that broke the record? Was it that one?
out he's no ordinary kid. He's actually a god gamer because he actually ended up beating the game of Tetris. Now, if you don't know Tetris lore or you don't keep up with the gaming scene, basically Tetris was considered impossible to beat by a human being. Now, if you're an artificial intelligence specifically created to beat the game, sure, then it was possible, but a human being had not beat the game since it was created in 19
It's so old already.
1984. So this is an absolutely huge deal. And the fact that a 13-year-old has accomplished this task is absolutely freaking insane. It's a huge deal in the gaming community. So what did this news anchor respond with? Well, this news anchor essentially reacted in the worst way possible. She basically told this 13-year-old kid to go outside, touch some grass, and stop wasting his life. It's actually insane. Here's a clip from his stream.
Oh. It just stops. Oh god, he's having a heart attack. Breathe. Oh boy. Oh god. Oh my. The poor boy. Breathe. Breathe. It's okay. Oh god, it's so sweet. It's oh boy, breathe. Mom, get the camera.
He's absolutely freaking out, hyperventilating over there. And
I hope he was okay and he didn't pass out, hopefully.
Understandably, he probably put an ungodly amount of time and effort into playing this video game, so he definitely deserves it. Okay, congratulations. Willis dedicated his win to his dad, Adam Gibson, who passed away December 14 this year at age 39. Willis is the absolute GOAT, bro.
He is a GOAT.
I'm here to inform you that there are some ads coming up soon.
He beat the unbeatable. It makes sense to react. Of course, it is. It's absolutely. I'm just worried that he actually passed out in that moment. That was what I'm worried about. It looked so adorable. It looked so adorable. She should be very proud of himself, especially at such a young age, right? Oh boy, oh boy. Let's see what it is. Hi, private.
Have the tweet by Dexerto. A news anchor has been called out after diminishing the accomplishment of a 13-year-old beating Tetris, telling him to go outside. Beating the game isn't a life goal.
It's a really, really high achievement. Maybe not a life goal, but it's a really, really, really high achievement.
Now, Tetris has long been touted as a video game that just can't be beaten because it just goes on and on.
There he is.
Oh my god!
Well, 13-year-old American Willis Gibson has technically proven that wrong. He beat the original Nintendo version of the game by reaching such a high level that the coding froze. And left the program unable to generate any more.
Lina being the only person to beat something unbeatable is definitely a life goal. Okay, fair. Fair. But she should at least treat it as a really, really high achievement. That is the bare minimum.
As a mother, I would just say step away from the screen, go outside, get some fresh air.
My heart. My heart. Oh, man. Her smile makes me absolutely... Yeah. She's so smug. Yeah, she's like, oh, man, that poor kid. He just should go outside and have some air. Get the pitchforks. No. We will not go on a witch hunt. We will not go on a witch hunt. We will not keep the spiral. Like I said yesterday, this bitch... Yeah, well, especially as a mother, As a mother, I would tell my kid to go outside. Yeah, well then as a mother, you don't care about the dreams and goals of your kid. And you should be ashamed of yourself. If the dream of your kid is to beat this game, then yes, you should encourage him to take breaks, that he's well taken care of. I give her that, but you should not talk it down like this. I'm really sure his mom is proud, especially after he said he will honor the win to his father who passed away. It's so sweet. The strings can hurt, especially if you have metal strings. Oh wait, what is less painful? Yeah, true. The metal strings are really, really hurtful. I had a metal string guitar. It was like others in my guitar class also had metal strings, and some had to skip classes because their fingers were bleeding because they practiced too much. How it was less painful doing it with nails rather than a chip. I personally didn't like the chip, because I had less control over it. It just I don't know. You pay with control if you have a chip, in my opinion. But everybody is different, right? Just because they went like expensive schools or Old Bridge, they think they're better. They're just humans, and that's what it is.
Beating Tetris is not a life goal. Speaking of fresh air, let's get a look at the weather.
Shut up, bitch!
Oh,
Is going outside a life goal? You could just ask it that stupidly. Thank you, Private.
yeah, beating the game isn't a life goal. Not like the kid is 13 years old and is not even thinking about that type of stuff. He's just a kid playing some Tetris, man. Why you gotta pick on him like this? It's not cool. Now, I know that
it's really
some
not
of
cool.
my audience might think this is completely dumb because, like, who
This poor kid, as a mother, yeah, she should know better. Absolutely. That's different for everybody, Direm. That is also why you should not treat it like that. Like saying it's a really high achievement is fine. Like it's a life goal is fine, because everyone has different life goals and achievements, and you should respect that, and that's totally okay. As long as the person is healthy and somewhat stable, right? Having a goal that is not lining up with your personal goals should not be a problem. Imagine making fun of a kid. Yeah, playing just a silly game. I'm on purposefully making it more stupid. Yeah. Like imagine the kid is playing a game and your mom is like, and you're winning. You're doing like the very best, and you achieve something nobody else on the whole planet did before. And your mom was like, "Boy, just go outside, touch some grass." Yeah, she's doing it. That is why it's so important. Like as a public person, right? As a public person, it's very important how you're talking and how you present yourself. Especially in such a position where your whole job depends on it, or your whole career depends on it. It could be like, I mean, cancel culture exists, yes. But the internet also forgets, because just the next drama is coming up. That is also like a problem. The way they're being socialized because of it. Yeah, of course. But Celador, just because you were socialized and educated 40 years like that before, you cannot pick up on a kid because it's from a different generation, and for that generation it's a really high thing. You cannot say this. That's the thing I don't like about older people. You can't say, yeah, I was just raised like that. Yeah, and are you stupid? Can't you evolve? Are you froze with your mind that you cannot develop more appropriate language, more appropriate behavior? Just because you were raised like that doesn't mean that you have to keep the spiral. Grow the fuck up. This is childish behavior if you say, yeah, I was just raised like that. Yeah, my ass, then work on it.
who cares about Tetris, right? But it's actually a really big deal, and it's really hard to accomplish. And the fact that just the time frame tells you how hard it is, because from 1984 to
Nobody beat it
2024,
so far.
nobody has done it. Okay, so it's definitely one in
But also different generations on an excuse because no, Direham is just an example. Just because you were raised and educated 40 years ago doesn't mean that your brain has to be stuck in there. That is not a reason that you still have to have those 40-year-old beliefs, but many people do not grow out of it. And this for me is like a lack of being a human, basically, because humans are so capable of evolving very fast. And they're just stuck and use that as an excuse to behave like an asshole. And that is not fair. And it's not right. You have the ability to change. You just have to do it. And you cannot use as an excuse. Yeah, because I was used to that. Because so this is also a thing with child education. Basically, just because you were screamed as a child for bad behavior doesn't mean you have to scream at your child and cause the same trauma upon your child too. Like you have the power to break those spirals, and you should do it. And it's all Keeper's fault. It's not hard to be kind. It's not hard to be kind. Really not. But for some people, apparently, it's just they're just educated like that, and that gives them the right to be an asshole. And man, buckle up. You are a freaking child when you think like that. Goes for open-minded humans, but fact is there are a lot more class-minded people in the contrary. Yeah, that is also stupid. No matter what you are, at the bare bone of your existence, you are a human. And that does not give you a right to be a shit-ass asshole. It's not your fault, but your responsibility. Very good, Direham. Very good. How would Keeper have done this? You would just put a fire on it and just leave it burning.
A million type of guy. I feel like the response to this
Yeah,
is
Yonta, we
completely
know.
unjustified. Telling a 13-year-old kid to just go outside as if he wasn't working on something really meaningful is really cringe because you wouldn't be saying this to, I don't know, a 13-year-old who won a competition for tennis or won a competition for football or something.
A 13-year-old that is going to the Olympics. You would be so proud of that guy, and then you can be proud of the kid that beat Tetris.
Like that, right?
It's like also the thing is it's meaningful to him, and you should acknowledge that it's meaningful to him and he accomplished it. It doesn't matter what it is. If it just be, I don't know, like going outside for every day for a year, which is already pretty freaking amazing. If he accomplished that goal for himself and it was meaningful to him, then you should yeah, good job, boy, you did really good. Just why is it so hard? Just because it's not aligning with your beliefs and your thinking, you're not in the right position to talk it down. Not at all. Disrespectful as fuck.
Right?
Get canceled.
He's playing sports, he's outside or whatever. What you gotta understand is that people have different hobbies. People have different things they put their time into.
That looks so cool. What the hell? I can't even do like 2 floors. Holy shit.
And every single thing, okay, most things, okay. I'm not gonna say like.
Yeah, but Dragonfly, the mindset go outside, it could also just be, okay, I will go outside and do drugs. Bye. If I can't have my hobby, I will just do a riot and go outside and do drugs. Thanks, Mom. Right now, it is technically, you could use it against that, right? She probably never got praised for small things as a child, which is very sad. It's just sad for her. And she's just keeping that spiral. I just want to knock those over. Dragonfly, you're a cat. It would only be funny if you were saying this to like your best friend. And then the okay, just go outside would actually be funny. I don't know. If I would tell my friend, yo, I worked my ass off, I trained for weeks, and then I accomplished it. If my friend would never do that. My friends are very, very, very supportive. They would be so proud of me. No matter what, if I am proud of it, they will just lift me up and be proud of me. we just do that. We just highly positive. Like no matter what it is, we just positive and support each other. Which is that is what a friendship is for. So if my friends would come to me and I tell them something I worked so hard on, and then they're like, Lina, just go outside. I would be like, are you serious? Like I did this thing and you tell me I have to go outside? I would be really upset. Because this is just not the way we talk to each other. Your friends can lift the dragon. Yeah, my friends are very powerful. So that's how it works. My best friend always calls me when he's a shitter on the shitter for no reason.
Like drugs or whatever is extremely valuable. Whatever. Most
Why
things
he bring up
are
the
pretty
drugs?
valuable over here. Okay, and
Yeah.
if he gets entertainment from it, what's the freaking problem? Tired of these boomers.
Yes, I meant it different though. That making fun of your friend is way of showing support and love. I mean, it depends on if my point was like we are still in the sphere of I achieved something really 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 important to me, and when they would say, "Yeah, Lina, just touch some grass," I would be really upset. If it's like in a comedic way, I do understand absolutely. My mind was just stuck on this very high achievement thing being talked down. That's why I was like a bit maybe on a disagreement with you there. But if it's just like something silly and they're like, man, Lina, just go outside. What are you doing? I would take that as a joke. Yeah, sure.
Azantech asked me, Yo, V, I
Yeah.
don't know what we talking about.
Good
But I
night,
worked
Louis.
hard, worked out, and improved myself.
Mm.
Just kidding. I am just sitting behind my
Sleep
PC.
well, sweet dreams.
Can you
See
say
tomorrow.
to Lina, good job
Huh?
for showering and not smell like durian anymore?
Aww.
Azantech, I'm on to you, acting all hardworking and stuff, when you're just chilling behind the PC. As for Lina, I'll give him credit where it's due. Good job showering and not smelling like a durian anymore. Must have been a tough battle, but they survived it like a champ.
Yeah.
Keep up the hard work.
Thank
Lina,
you.
durian free is the way to be.
But I want to eat durian. Good night, Louis. Bye-bye.
Boomers going like video games suck. Go outside. Shut the hell up. You haven't known joy in your entire goddamn life, have you? And the thing is,
Yeah,
you're
good
supposed to
question.
be a professional
Yeah,
news
I never had durian. That's why I want to try it. And I finally found a shop where they have fresh durian. I'm just saving up for it because it's $20.
reporter. You're supposed to just report the news, not insert your opinion that absolutely nobody asked for, and call this kid a loser, basically. Now, later on in the video, we'll talk about the CEO of Classic Tetris World Championship actually responding to this.
Oh, they
and I'm
even
pretty sure
I didn't know there are championships for Tetris. Man, they must be all over the hell with this achievement.
he made his day with this response. But first off, let's check out people's responses, because this is the fun
Oh,
part, you know, getting roasting
okay,
people
let's
on
go
Twitter.
Twitter.
He's 13, Lamau life goal, because life barely started, as I said. Imagine having to talk down about a literal kid just to make yourself feel better. As a viewer, I would tell her to go outside, and that telling other people what their life goal should be isn't a life goal. And that's just how it should be, because people are on different paths. And you might think that gaming is completely useless, that gaming is a waste of time or whatever, but people use it for a variety of things. For example, gaming is a form of escapism, just the way you might be watching TV shows, just the way you might be going outside.
Okay, low key opinion. I think gaming is better than watching TV because at gaming you use your brain in some way, and you have those lucky moments. You're just not like passively hanging out. I do enjoy watching sometimes and just like be dead. I do like that, but if I would pick gaming or TV, I would always go for gaming. AFK Arena, yeah, normal games.
Hanging out with your friends or whatever. Some people like playing video games, okay? And they might
Pizza.
even be playing them with friends. They might even be
Hobby
playing
shaming?
them
I'm not
alone,
hobby
or they just
shaming.
like the achievement aspect of it, and that's perfectly fine.
It's like what I personally think is better.
I hate the sort of demonizing of things that are not like normal. I mean, I feel like gaming is very, very normalized
Gaming
now, but
is very
obviously these
normal, yeah.
people are still living in the T-Rex
No, for some people, Netflix is a hobby. They just like watch a lot of things and of all the series and are like super hyped about it, which is fine. Like I said, I also love Bridgerton, for example, but I don't do that like every day. First, I don't have the time for it, and second, I would just finish everything so quick. And then I feel bad because I binge watched it.
X age, and they're probably half convinced that a meteor is gonna wipe them out or something. For a 13-year-old, this is the best feeling ever. By the way, this person's name is Anime Lover. I'm sure this news host will have something to say about anime as well here. The funny thing is that on this anchor's Twitter page, she reposted a story about a teenager who plays darts, which is also indoors. Oh, we'll get to that in a second. Not a life goal, but made it onto the news for an accomplishment a 13-year-old made. I don't know. That sounds like the fruits of accomplishing your goal. Lol. And I
don't have time for gaming anymore. Too much Lina in my life now. I mean, you can have me on the second screen. I would not be mad. And then play a game on the main screen. That would be okay.
I'll say getting on national news as a 13-year-old is a hard thing to do, okay?
Yeah,
when I was
true.
13, I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was just really stupid. I was playing a bunch of video games or whatever, but I was in Tetris World Champion
what about the third
over here.
screen?
I didn't do
Third screen is critical. Third screen is critical.
something that millions and millions of people couldn't do, okay? He's 13.
So
what do you
many
want him to
tried.
do? Cure cancer? Probably. That's sort of the expectations we're setting on kids these days.
Yeah.
I don't know. And
Poor
that
kids,
attitude is
man.
why she reads news instead of making it, we're just burning. We're just burning people now, huh? News host when kids are
Sometimes I have to say Twitter is a very fun place. Sometimes Twitter is a fun place. For moments like this, it's kind of fun, okay?
having fun with video games. No, you must go outside. Go play outside. Like, I hate
play.
the fact he's like, as a mother, as if this kid's mother has somehow failed him by letting him play Tetris for a couple hours. Jesus Christ. Well, someone's clearly never experienced the satisfaction of clearing 4 rows at once in Tetris. Maybe the news anchor
she should play it and experience it to have some kind of fun in her life.
should try it for themselves before they come for the 13-year-old Tetris champion. Fire her ASAP. Okay, so here we have a games journalist talking about this situation. It is the year of our Lord 2024, and Sky News is still telling people who play video games to go outside and get some fresh air. Notably, on the same day, they're praising a 16-year-old darts player. So basically, in another story, they were talking about a 16-year-old darts player, and I don't really understand this disconnect here, where you can praise a 16-year-old darts player, but not praise a 13-year-old for accomplishing something very impressive in Tetris, because I would think in their like sort of ancient boomer brain,
Imagine having Lina run on anything other than TV. I've been on TVs already.
that those classify in the same category, like that's a game and that's a game as well. Obviously, it's a different type of game, you know, you're actually moving your arms or whatever. Maybe they consider that athletic or something, but it's pretty much in the same ballpark here, so I don't know why one would be okay and why one wouldn't.
The other not. Both are good accomplishments.
In any case, I think anyone who does significant achievements should be praised and not chastised on national TV. Would just add that I'm seeing some abusive comments being directed at the reporter. By all means, criticize her, but please rise above anything abusive, mainly because it's shit, but also because it does your cause no favors. Yeah, I don't think any witch hunting is helpful here. This is easily the stupidest comment. Darts is more athletic than esports. At least that kid was standing up. What are you on?
That is sarcasm, is it not? That feels like sarcasm, but I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking. I hope it is.
About maybe this kid actually exercises, maybe he goes outside, but for getting the record, I will admit that he probably spends a lot of time on Tetris, okay, unless he's a natural born genius or whatever. So he probably spends a significant amount of time, maybe 6 to 8 hours a day or something, playing Tetris, maybe even more. That's fine if he's passionate about something, sure, but you don't know what he's doing in this in the rest of his free time. He might be going outside, he might be hanging out with friends. Why do you gotta judge him as this basement dwelling?
Yeah, true. She just saw one very small moment of his life and what he does, and she's just judging him based on that, which is not fair at all. Imagine a kid being happy about something and people turn it into a Twitter debate. I mean, and people are so judgmental. Yeah, I see so much stuff on Twitter and on Fred, basically on every platform, because I'm on every platform. There's so much going on.
Because he got the Tetris world record or something here. Goes home and plays Candy Crush in bed.
Oh boy.
And that's what I hate about these situations. Okay? By the way, her demographic is actually the leading player.
Yeah, that is just assuming, which is also not the nicest way
base of
as a
Candy Crush,
counter.
so probably, most likely. But also, she probably has tons of hobbies by herself as well, where she is not like
Hopefully.
gaming, but she's doing other things which would be considered wastes of time as well, whether it be watching TV shows or art, singing, everything. We only have one life,
Gardening.
and there's a million things you can do, and I think it's better to, you know, let people do what they want instead of being a judgmental prick on TV. Two things to dissect here. There are kids with YouTube channels that make 100 times what she makes playing video games. Interesting mantra coming from someone who, and people might not believe this, watch her show on the exact same device that she's telling gamers to evade. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say video games are a waste of time. It's a form of escapism, and while I don't think most people are going to become either YouTubers or live streamers or professional gamers and turn it into a monetary career, I still feel
Really,
like it's
is it?
completely fine to do. So his name is Willis Gibson. If you wanted to check him out or whatever, he just goes by the streamer name Blue Scooty. And this is
Aw,
what a
that's a
prominent
cute
person in
name.
the space said. This is unbelievable. Vince Clementi, CEO of Classic Tetris World Championship, told Routers, developers didn't think anyone would ever make it that far. And now the game has officially been beaten by a human being. This is surpassing
is
human
so
limits
cool.
over here. Now, when the developers don't even think that you can beat the game, that's when you know it's an absolutely insane ordeal, insane challenge, okay? Previously, only an artificial intelligence computer program had beaten Tetris, as I said. Willis employs a rolling controller technique popularized in 2021 that allows a player to manipulate the D-pad at least 20 times per second to move the blocks, far more than the previously popular hyper-tapping method. It is also the best-selling video game of all time with 520 million copies sold. So the amount of
That
people
is a
that have
lot of
actually played
copies.
Tetris and been exposed to Tetris
Imagine some funny company that made an Assassin's game had so many cells, hey?
is absolutely insane. I've definitely played it tons of times, and I absolutely suck at it, especially on,
I
on
also
the
not very
airplane,
good
when
at
I can't
it.
even focus when the goddamn air pressure is getting to me, dog. Jesus Christ. She must issue an apology for expressing personal views during the news bulletin. I think they are allowed to have like personal opinions or whatever, but I think definitely in the next news broadcast, she should issue an apology
Those
to
were
the
some
kid
bad
and say,
times.
hey, I'm sorry, you know, sorry for calling you out like that. And next time, you know, just don't act so superior, so
Yeah, just read it out. Basically,
stop putting other
maybe.
people down, and it's okay to see other people having fun, okay? You don't need to be such a goddamn Twitter user. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys are excited for 2024. I'm gonna be pumping out these
That
videos.
video's
Stay tuned. I'll see you
old.
guys later. Bye-bye.
Have fun 2024, man. We're almost in the middle of 2025 for some reason. I don't know how though. It was a very interesting video. It's so bad for the boy that he accomplished something really big and she's like, nah, it's not a big deal. Maybe she should try doing it. Maybe she should. Okay.